Hello everyone, Vanguard of Valor here, and welcome back. We're playing a little bit more Into the Breach here with our Zenith guard here on Pinnacle Robotics, and it's cold here. We just managed to take advantage of that in the Lifeless Basin, but District Z1101 was not so friendly. We got 2 more battles to do, the Tundra and whatever this is going to be, and it might prove challenging, but so far we've got a perfect record for saved people, and we're going to do our best to maintain this on hard mode, because, whoo boy is it challenging. Let's give it a shot and see what happens.
The local coolant station detonated, releasing storms of cryo-nanites into the atmosphere. Avoid them, or your mechs may be flash frozen.
Alright, ice effects on the map might make it a lot easier if we can keep a whole bunch of enemies frozen, but we're starting out with some badness already, an Alpha Centipede, an Alpha Spider, and an Alpha Scorpion, none of which I like. And let us go, I guess. I'm going to try and make sure the Alpha Scorpion wastes his turn on our charge mech, and we're going to see what happens with the rest of them, I guess. We have to protect these power generator, and try not to take very much damage, although I think that may be very hard. Let's see what happens. Oh, the spider's going to attack here. I didn't even think about that. We have a time pod coming in. Alright. That's not looking good. That's going to... Oh, it might just freeze everything in that space, and that would be okay. Might be a little bit hard if I can't get out of the way, though. Because right now it's freezing 2 enemies, which is not bad. Only problem is, it's completely pinning in our team. So I'm probably going to have to use the science defense mech here to splat the spiderling egg against itself so that our laser mech can get out. We're going to probably slap the charge mech into the corner here so that he can't attack anything. Although I could actually kill him with one of these. It'd be the immediate spending of our once per battle freeze, though. And I don't know if I necessarily want to do that right off the bat. Now, the time pod would be fun to pick up. They're only getting 1 extra unit this turn, though. And the ice storm will freeze these guys and protect these buildings before they get a turn to act. So that's actually pretty good. We just have to not be standing there. So if I take the defense mech over to here and smush this egg, I think we use the laser mech. He's attacking nothing. I think we use the laser mech to kill the spider, and we use the charge mech to either freeze or slap the Alpha Scorpion out the way. I think that's indeed the play here. Now, we're already taking damage on ourselves, despite really wanting to not have that happen. But so it goes. So the question now is just, do I freeze the Alpha Scorpion, or do I smack him into the corner? And I think freezing him is the better play. It's maybe not quite as fancy long-term, but the real advantage of it is it means we only have 2 enemies next turn, which is going to mean we might actually have time to recover some of that damage, and we're also not taking damage on the charge mech already, which might make that objective a little bit easier. So let's freeze him. There we go, now he's out of the picture, and this will deal with itself, thankfully. Alright, let's end our turn. Best part is, that attack doesn't even free any of them. Alright, we have another spitter. And this is entirely fine. We can just shove him into there if we want. This one dies to the laser. Is there a way we can easily kill both of them? I mean, as it stands, this map is actually really straightforward because we're only having to deal with like 1 or 2 enemies a turn, and the other ones are all frozen solid all the time, so I'm okay with that. Now, if we do bring the charge mech around, or the defense mech around, does it matter? I can't get the charge mech over to this side, but I can get the defense mech over to this side to pull him into the ice, which is definitely going to be the play here, I think. So, in that case, I'd love to heal that damage, but I don't think it makes sense to right now. Let's take the charge mech to pick up the pod, just to make sure nothing bad happens to it. I don't know if we're going to kill anybody this mission. I mean, we're going to kill 1 or 2 of them, but not very many, it turns out. I don't want to laser him. Yeah, let's laser him. There we go, just for fun. So he freezes, and everything else is fine. End turn. I could do an action here, but I literally have no actions worth doing, so we're not going to worry about it. Want to smack this mountain? Nah, it hurts me. I want to try and avoid taking damage. Let us end our turn then. And he is done. Fire goes out too, and they get an average Scorpion and an average Hornet. We have one more ice tile here, 2 more spawns wanting to come in. The fact that he's attacking that frozen building means we can actually completely ignore him anyway. And just for fun, I might put a shield on that building, so even though he does attack, it doesn't do anything. We could use the laser mech to move up and blast him, although it would freeze us. But we're going to block a spawn here. Actually, are we? I might just kill him with the laser. It's probably safer. Or with the rock. Either way, if we just blast this guy to death, then nothing bad happens. We're not frozen anymore. We can do what we please. I can pull him with the defense mech into the freeze. That could be fun. Or we can kill him with the charge mech and then be frozen. Alright, I think this is going to be the play. We're going to kill him with the charging mech. Like so. We know that our mech is going to freeze, but that doesn't actually matter. We are going to repair our defense mech on top of the enemy spawn, so that way we'll only be at 2 damage, and there's only going to be 1 enemy on the map at the end of this turn. And that's kind of fine by me. We should be able to deal with it with these 2. Alright, we're letting ourselves freeze on purpose. Oh, Camilla. You're immune to so many things, but you're not immune to the cold. Alright, we can move over to here and blast him for 3, and then pull him into the defense mech for 4, which doesn't go over the damage limit. Is there anything else fun I can do here? I can just ignore him. He literally does nothing to us. He's just hitting 2 frozen enemies. I kind of like the one that actually kills him, though. Not that we need the experience, mind you, but just that it's fun to actually kill these guys. So, there we go. Mech damage less than 4, protected the power generator, protected the time pod. Let's end our turn. Turns out these freezing effects are actually pretty helpful. I haven't had all of these different elemental missions here to help me out before, but I'd previously thought Pinnacle is often one of the hardest missions, but this time it has proven to be pretty reasonable.
Your ability to defeat the Vec with minimal damage to the mechs is admirable. If only all humans showed such concern for their machine counterparts.
Well, well, well. Got all our rewards and a time pod. Did we get a pilot? Please tell me we get a pilot. I really want a pilot. Give me a pilot. Yeah! New pilot. Ghana. Requires 1 power. Deploy anywhere on the map, damaging adjacent enemies. And he starts with 2 mech HP. That is a cool pilot. That's a really cool pilot. We're putting that in the laser mech, I bet you. That could be really good there. And another reactor core? That's really cool. Okay, we have a new pilot to consider. Now, the fact that we'd lose a reactor if we take out Lita is not amazing. Although I could put Lita in here instead. Not that we need the power in this mech. It's literally got 1 power in it so far, even though we're on our 3rd island. Ghana, where do I want to put you? Deploy anywhere on the map, damaging adjacent enemies. We could put it on the ramming mech, because the ramming mech wants to be able to smash into things anyway, but it might be good just to really double down on the laser mech, go for all maximum firepower. The fact that that ability takes 1 power means we can't really capitalize on it right away unless I want to be somewhat underpowered. The question is, where would I best take advantage of being able to deploy anywhere I want? And I think it's still the laser mech, because then we can take some of the movement out and not be super penalized. The defense mech doesn't really need to be anywhere. It can fly, it can get anywhere it wants to go pretty easily. The charge mech can ram to cover distance, but the laser mech, I think, benefits most from this ability. Now the question is, do we swap Amelia for Lita? We lose that 5th movement, we get an extra power, so we can put it right back into movement if we want. And I think that's actually better. because it's more versatile. We can move that movement point into something else if we want later, and it doesn't cost us anything. Now we have 1 extra point here because we lost damage off the rock launcher. It's down to only 2 now, but this is up to 4, so I might actually leave the 4 move on, take the damage penalty in the rock launcher for now, and put this into our heat converter. This means the rock isn't quite as powerful for killing things without having to do piercing, but we already have the burst beam for damage on Ghana as it is, and yeah, that way we'd be able to get an extra freeze, which would really help us disable these troublesome enemies, because it turns out freezing things is really strong. Okay. Let's try that. I think that'll do. We maybe don't need the 7 health in here anymore, but if we want to ever start bumping up the ramming engines, we're going to still need it, so I would rather have more health than less. It means we can also body block more with Camilla if we need to. And let's see how this plays out. This is an interesting ability that we're going to get to try out now. I am intrigued. Also, the fact that his face, like, jumps out forwards like that is kind of weird. It's like a weird blinking effect. Alright, well, thermal dampeners. Defend the robots and protect the coal plant. That could be a nasty one. Silicate planes have an option of taking less than 3 grid damage, which is easy, but I don't know if I really want to go there. Let's go to thermal dampeners. It's harder, but it'll give us more rewards. Ah, this is the mine layers, too. The mine layers usually help us out quite a bit, so let's try this and see what happens.
Our sentient mine layers have lost I.O. and are attempting to run old routines. Protect these blind, helpless creatures.
Alright, let's go. Ooh, boy! If I slap down here, it does hurt those 3, but interestingly enough, doesn't hurt my guy. That's kind of what I wondered here. If we land next to buildings, does it damage them? And the answer is no. It does not. That actually makes that ability pretty handy. Now, I could drop down right in the middle here, but that's not a safe idea. That's really cool, though. We can go wherever we want. I don't really know how I want to use it, though, is the real question. The problem is these guys are going to make laser beaming through the whole army pretty tricky. I think what we're going to want to do is block this corner and then go ramming mech, defense mech. The downside to this is that if the spider webs the laser mech and this guy doesn't get out the way, we can't do anything to this row, which might be pretty bad. But I think this is going to work out. We slap him for an extra damage, and let's do it. Womp. That's pretty cool. We have a time pod dropping in already, alright. Maybe we get another pilot right away, that'd be pretty cool. Stay there, please. Someone stand on this and die? No? Okay. Spider egg? Okay. Well then. We can just laser this row. That allows us to kill him and the blast scion, but I don't know the order in which that happens, and turns out that's kind of important. Now, I can't laser through this row as much as I might like to. I can pull him back onto the mine, though, with the defense mech. That's probably what we're going to do. We're going to stand on the time pod, so we pick it up, and pull the Alpha Scorpion onto the ice. That means we still have to deal with the Centipede, which is attacking, we still have to deal with the Alpha Scarab, which is attacking, and we still have to deal with the Blast Scion. Now, what we could do, in order to deal with it, is push the Alpha Scarab this way and then fire the laser, but I think the laser actually detonates the mine and would free him if we've already fired it that way. So if we do that, pushing him this way does not stop him. We could use the rock launcher to kill him, but then the explosion damages here, which is not amazing. Alternatively, is there any other way we can deal with these guys and kill the Blast Scion? I don't know if there is. We could bring the charge mech around to here and ram the Blast Scion. That would do 2 damage to him and 1 damage only to the centipede in the back there, which means he wouldn't die, so his attack would still be happening. And it would also mean we can't kill the scarab in any way. Is there a better way by shielding with the defense mech instead? I don't think there is, because then the Alpha Scorpion just kills this guy. I think the only way we can stop the Alpha Scorpion is by pulling him onto this ice mine. Is there an alternative? We could bring the charge mech over to here and freeze the scarab, burn the egg. That way we would kill the egg, he would no longer be an issue, and the scorpion would be dead, but there would be no way to kill the centipede without damaging these buildings. Unless firing the laser through here does kill the scion before it kills him, in which case he wouldn't explode, we'd kill those two, but we'd have a freed Alpha Scorpion. That might honestly be okay, though. The important thing is that he's not attacking our mining bot. We can kind of deal with him next turn if we have to. The bigger issue is just not being able to get out. So since we still have our turn reset, I think what we're going to do is we're going to spend it testing if this explodes him or not. Since we killed the Blast Scion at the same time, it shouldn't, but since he's in the first tile, he might still explode. If he does, we'll be accidentally blowing up this ice mine, which means we're still going to pull him forward one tile, or I might actually put a shield on him instead, and just leave him there. That might be better. If we move forward here, pick up the pod, and throw a shield bubble on him, he still doesn't take any damage, but we're not just wasting a move. Now, if I do pull him into this, he freezes and then takes 0 damage anyway. If I shoot first and then pull him, he takes 0 damage anyway. So no matter how we do this, he doesn't get actually hurt. The spider's still going to be alive, but I don't think we can do anything about that. Let's test this. First test, we may need to rewind. Does he explode? He does not explode. That's what we wanted. Okay. Now the charge mech. Well, let's do the pull or the shield first. I don't think it matters, really. I don't think it matters at all. We're going to block the spawn here with Camilla, because that allows us to freeze him and burn the egg. We're going to stop on the time pod and shield the bot. There we go. No one else is in harm's way. We end our turn. They don't even get any new spawns this turn. We're doing fine. They have one spider and one Alpha Scorpion that we're going to have to deal with. But that might not even be so bad. It's kind of annoying, but it's not so bad. Okay. They're spawning him in the fire. They're spawning 4 new guys this turn, so that isn't great. Our mine bot is kind of preventing the laser mech from doing anything this turn, which is somewhat frustrating. We can push with the charge mech, but if we do, this tile will break and we fall in the water, which is silly, but not a problem. I don't know if we can actually kill the Alpha Spider because this robot's in the way. This guy has literally prevented us from doing what we need to do here. Because if the laser mech could just shoot here, we could clear him out. If we could stand in that tile, but we can't move the mining bot. I may block a spawn instead then, but there's nowhere safe for me to stand in here. Because I can only move 4 tiles. It's interesting. Moving over here seemed like a good position for us, but because these mine-laying robots are allies and we don't have the allies' immune ability, it's actually not great. Now, I could just move over here and freeze him again, which isn't the fanciest maneuver, but deals with the problem. Then we would have a spiderling that we could pull into the defense mech directly. I don't know if there's any better way we could get rid of the alpha spider, though. I can block 2 more spawns just to irritate the heck out of them, but the more spawns we block, the more they're going to have in the future turns, which I'm not a huge fan of. The freeze solution works, but it means that we're running out of fancy options for future turns, but I'm kind of okay with it, honestly. Let's freeze him. There we go. We pull the spiderling egg into us, and we really don't have a good play for the laser mech. So I'm just going to stand him on this spawn. And I maybe block this one with a boulder. Is it worth blocking 2 of the spawns to have to deal with more next turn? I don't think so. This guy's going to come in on fire, so we should be able to hopefully deal with him. And there's a lot of ice mines around that they may accidentally walk onto. So I think we're just going to give them the chance to screw this up themselves and not block any more spawns. On turn 2, we're going to try and block as many as we can, though. Let's end our turn here and see what happens. Yeah, I don't want to put a rock anywhere right now. Alright, Alpha Hornet, and an Alpha Scorpion. Well, hopefully they stand on some mines. One of them is cooperative. The other ones, not so much. Not so much. Okay, well, how are we going to deal with this? This guy is currently attacking a bug, so it doesn't actually matter in the least what he does. They only have 1 spawn happening, as far as I can tell, which is this one. So we can kind of ignore it if we want to. He's on fire. I still can't get our... Come on. I still can't get the laser mech into a good position, so I might just keep blocking with him. The defense mech might shield him, might shield here instead. Protecting those 2 buildings would be pretty good. We only have 1 use of the shield left, so if that's the only option, we'll take it, but I don't know if it's the best option. Alpha Hornet here needs to have something happening to him, though, because right now he's going to kill the mining bot. So what I could do is smack into him this way. That would free this spider, though. Scorpion, we don't really want to do that either. Now I could move over to here and laser down this line. That would crack the ice, but wouldn't break it. Is there a way to properly eliminate these guys without freeing any more of their friends? I can't move the mining bot, which means the only area I can do anything with the laser mech is from here. I can throw a boulder down the line or shoot the laser down the line. Either of those is possible, but it would mean this spawn gets to happen. There's a lot of ice mines around there, so that's probably not the end of the world, but it might be bad. The Hornet here and the Scorpion here need to be, if nothing else, disabled. I can pull him over 1 tile so he hits nothing. I can shield these buildings so it doesn't hurt them. Either of those works. This Alpha Hornet attack is inconvenient, but not terrible. If I just smack this guy backwards 1 with the charge mech, then he doesn't do anything significant here. We can pull this guy out the way. And that might work. Is there a better play? He's going to take 1 damage at the end of the turn. Is there a way we can do 3 to him? I don't think so. Not with any of the gear that we have. I'd love to be able to kill off more of these units, but I just don't think it's possible with what we're equipped with right now. We've used up all of our ice and fire. I can't throw a boulder at him because he's blocked by the mech we can't get past. I think we honestly just block the spawn and disable these guys as much as we can. We're going to save the shields until next turn because that gives us the highest chance of them not being able to do anything to us. We're probably going to let him free the Scarab because while it is unfortunate, it's better that these guys don't get to make us lose our objectives. And the question is just how do we do it? Do I slap him back 1 tile, breaking the ice here? Do I come around here and slap him over 1 tile and pull him somewhere? I think the safest play is just to move over here, pull the Scorpion 1 tile to the side, and smack into the Alpha Hornet so he backs up. He'll still hit us for 2. We'll be down to a total of 3 health then, but it won't kill our mining bot, and nothing else gets to spawn. So that means that there will be a partial health Hornet, which is going to burn to death at the end of the next turn anyway. An Alpha Hornet, an Alpha Scorpion, and an Alpha Scarab, which we should hopefully be able to deal with. I don't like that there's 3 of them, but it should be okay. We're sitting in a lovely puddle. The defense mech... Yeah, because we can ignore this guy because he'll burn to death at the start of his next turn. We pull him over 1, and we just block this spawn, I think. It's not our most grandiose play, but it should do the job, at least for now. Alright, maybe we'll get lucky and some of the remaining guys will stand on mines. Let's have you repair yourself and end the turn.
I have isolated the malfunctioning components and made examples out of them.
I'm sure you have, Ghana. I'm sure you have. Alright, let's end the turn. So he breaks open the Scarab, hurts our tank, and nothing happens there. We block the enemy. Good, good, good. They lay some mines. He goes to attack us, which is amazing. He freezes himself, which is incredibly good. And do they both go for the same building? No, they don't. Okay, so this is a little bit problematic. He's going to burn to death before he gets to attack, so it actually doesn't matter. This is the only problem here, because we can't let him do 3 damage to our defense mech. I could, of course, repair myself, which would mean I don't die. That might actually be the play here. As silly as it is, just letting him smack me for 3 might be the best play. I don't even have to do anything about this guy. I can kind of ignore him. I could bring the laser mech over here and hit him with a boulder just for fun, but it doesn't do anything. He's hitting an empty tile. He dies before he attacks, and we can tank that hit. Yeah, this is a mess of a battle, friends, but it's gonna work out, I think. Why is this not showing me his healing? Can you not heal while you're webbed? Is that an effect? Is that a thing? Doesn't seem to be. Alright, well let's try it. We still have a reset turn if we have to, because if it doesn't heal us, then we're gonna need some other solution here, because that's not gonna work. I can pull out, but I can't freeze him from this point. I can get out of the water, I mean, but I can't disable him entirely. And while I can slap him into the defense mech, that would bring him down to 2 health. I can't do 2 damage with the charge mech, which is less than ideal. But let's just test this, and if it doesn't work, we'll work around it. Nah, it works just fine. Alright, and just for fun, I'm gonna come over here and boop him with a rock. And we're gonna let Camilla heal up. Alright, let's end turn. He dies before he gets a turn, and nothing else matters. Awesome. Good work, Lita. You did it. Man, this team has been trouble. We may have a super long episode here, though. We're gonna go for it. So,
With the Vect destroyed, we can safely attempt repairs on the machines. Thank you.
we got both of our commendation stars, we got our power, we got our time pod, we saved all the citizens. I like it. Let's continue. What or who is in the time pod? Just what? Reactor core. I can't hope for 2 pilots in one area. If we're lucky, we'll get both of the objectives here and get to take another pilot at the end. Alrighty. Well, we're gonna make an extra long episode here and go straight for the corporate HQ. We're not going to stop, even though we're at 30 minutes already. Might be a mistake, but we're gonna do it anyway. Now we have 1 power to spend. What do I want to put it in? What do I want to put it in? Probably I'm going to want to put it back in the laser mech to hopefully get that damage back up, but I don't think we're going to be able to get there because I really need that movement as an option on the laser mech. Do we put on ally immune? I think we put it on ally immune, just so we don't have to keep lasering ourselves for now. The laser mech is really power hungry, Like, we're gonna cap out without being able to power up everything, no matter what we do, because there's only 3 more power we can put in. Which is just not enough to get everything. But I think it needs the power to be able to do what it does properly. As much as I'd like to buff up the damage on Camilla, the fact that she can spend 2 turns freezing and burning enemies is actually really good. This thing was key in that last battle. So let's give ourselves the ally immune effect on the laser mech. And let me just double check here. This doesn't work the way I thought, right? Yeah, it still hurts buildings. It just doesn't hurt allies. Okay. Yeah, okay. So, let us see what happens here. We're going to the corporate HQ. We have to destroy the beetle leader and protect the corporate tower. Let's get into this.
Pinnacle Tower is under attack. My analysis processor is unable to identify the species effect threatening us. Caution is advised.
Okay, well, let's start the mission then. What we have here is an incredible opportunity to start by smacking this guy. If he stays here, we just have to get out the way and he'll go into the water. I don't know if this is a good idea. In fact, I think it is probably very much a bad idea. But we're still going to do it because I also think it is a funny idea. Let's put our charge mech down and our defense mech down. And hopefully this will work out. We have a pretty nasty starting layout here. The beetle leader, actually he can't sink in the water. He's a massive creature. Right. I have to remember that. Is it worth doing this then? Because I can't put him in the pond. He is massive. Well, he does have a lot of health, and if I can get around behind him, I can just laser through him, and he'll take 4 damage right away, meaning he'll die next turn, or I can kill him with 1 maneuver if I have to. We want to kill him, not freeze him, so we're probably going to wind up freezing the Alpha Centipede or the Scarab, and we'll just have to maneuver the other 2. This could be problematic, but I'm kind of setting them up to target me by going way in the back, so hopefully they don't go for our buildings. Let's confirm our placement and kind of see how this plays out. There's a lot of ice in here that we can break also. Alright, not quite what I wanted. This is great, though. We can just smack him into the water. Problem solved. Okay. These ones are also pretty good. All I have to do is move the laser mech here and laser this line. It kills the Scarab and means the beetle leader is going to be down lower health. Plus, he'll be on fire. And then we can put a shield bubble on these buildings to protect them. The Alpha Scarab's attack misses, and we block a spawn. I think either way, we're going to smack him into the pond, because that is a very easy kill on an otherwise very nasty enemy. And I think we laser this line, because it kills him and does 4 damage to him, which means he'll be on 1 HP, which means I can actually kill him with the defense mech if we want. All I have to do is push him into myself, and he'll be dead. That's a really incredible first turn. Alright, let's do this. Into the pond with you. We stand here with Ghana. Is there a better play than this? I don't think so. We fire on him like so. He's on 4, on 2 HP. The fire damage happens first. We block the path. Pull him into ourself. The fire damage now kills him. That's an amazing first turn. Alright, let's end our turn. They only get 1 spawn, and they are in trouble already. This may have been a quicker battle than I expected. Now, they're going to have a whole bunch of spawns next turn, probably 4, because we're letting them stack up like this. No, just 3. Alright, I'm down with that. So what we're going to do here, then, is we're going to use the charge mech to kill our Hornet. We're going to move out of the way with the defense mech, but I'm still going to stand, I think, here or here. I'm going to stand here. And I'm probably going to repair myself. But we are going to absolutely trash this ice. Reason being, if enemies stop along this line next time, we can shoot them again, and anything that doesn't die falls in the water. So that's a really useful defensive turn, even though it's not a huge deal right now. We're going to heal Lita, although I could have put a shield on something instead. I don't think it's really necessary right now. We're in a pretty strong position. Let's end our turn and see what these guys do. I'm hoping things stop along this line. And if not, I can pull them into it, so we're in a great spot here. This guy is a little annoying, because now this we're really tied down here. But we can deal with it. All I have to do is charge the egg, laser along this line, and then pull the Alpha Centipede into the pond. I think that is the best play here still, because it kills 2 enemies and only leaves the spider. I don't like leaving the spider. I don't think there's a better maneuver, though. Because I can't pull him if the egg is still intact. I can shoot the beam across here to break the ice first. But I still have to get rid of the egg. Alright, well let's break the egg then, because we have to. Then we break the ice. That should help quite a bit. And then we pull him into the pond. Looking good. I don't like the fact the spider's still alive, but he's going to have limited usefulness now. He's probably going to stand here and shoot the egg on this side, but then we can just laser the heck out of him. So let's end our turn and see what happens. This has been a lot nicer than I expected. We have a Blast Scion, which is kind of annoying, and Alpha Hornet. He did exactly what I expected him to. Blast Scion comes over, and the Alpha Hornet goes around the back. Okay. So how do we want to handle this then? Probably by slapping the spider egg with the attraction pulse so that we can get the defense mech around to here to laser him to death, and we can bring our charge mech over to kill the Scion. I can't quite kill all of them this way, but I can kill enough of them, and I'm fine with that. The spider gets to live, but we've murdered a bunch of its minions, children here, so I think that's a fair enough fate. So then, let us bring the charge mech over to here. Remove the Blast Scion, just in case. Let us pull the egg into our defense mech, and laser the Alpha Hornet. There we go. This was probably the easiest mission on the whole island because our first turn was so efficient. Being able to drop our laser mech right into the middle there seems like it was actually pretty darn good. Okay, let's end our turn and take our victory. So since that spider went down into the ice, that means it just committed suicide, right? Because they can't swim?
Thousands of lives were saved today. I am thankful for the time you have sacrificed to aid us.
We're getting close to that next level up for Ghana there. We've got another perfect island as far as civilians protected. This is going to be a tough run to top, turns out.
You have saved Pinnacle, accomplishing every objective without fail. Allow me to provide additional aid.
Please do. Let us take that for sure. What are you giving us? Abisamu, alright. Vec hormones. That's kind of neat. Or some power. Well, we're probably going to take Abe. Abe gives us the ability to have skills in all our pilots, and we might want him on another run. I might take Ghana just because we've already had Abe on another run. Abe's armor ability would be really useful on the tank, though, because he wouldn't be taking damage from himself. The Vec hormones are kind of cool. The fact that you can make them do up to 3 additional damage to each other is pretty neat. But I think we're going to take Abe, because the extra pilot is going to make a big deal here. Now, I think we're going to put him on the charge mech. As much as I like having Camilla there, we're going to put Camilla on the maneuvering tank, which is kind of sad, because it really doesn't give her the oomph that you would expect to have here. The fact that she has evasion really doesn't do anything on this thing, except that she can maneuver around more freely. But Abe on here means that this no longer damages him, which is awesome. It might also mean that we don't need to spend more power on his health, because he's going to take a lot less damage. We'll have to see. Now, if we were to go to the laser mech here, what else would I want to put power into? I don't know. I think I like this layout, though. Camilla, Abe, and Abe. I think his name is actually Abe. Abe Isamu. I'm going to probably pronounce it wrong many times, because it looks like Abe to me. But I think it's Abe. Alright, and I don't know how to pronounce this. I'm pronouncing it G-H-A-N-A, which it probably is not meant to be, but I'm going to keep calling him Ghana anyway. Let's spend some reputation and see what they're selling. They're selling smoke pellets. Alright. Put smoke everywhere. Ally immune is kind of interesting, so you can make it not smoke your friends. The shock cannon, that's pretty cool. Fire a projectile that hits 2 tiles, pushing them in opposite directions for up to 3 damage. Takes a ton of power, though. Still cool. The electric whip chains damage to adjacent targets. Ooh, that looks crazy. And we also have Raining Death, a dangerous projectile that damages everything it passes. Wow. Hurts us for 1, hurts everything along the path for 1, hits the target for 2. Since we don't have any range class mechs, this doesn't make sense to take, though. We're probably just going to take 3 reactor cores, because man do we need some. We've already got gear for all of our mech slots, and I could potentially swap the rock launcher for something fancy like an electric whip, but I kind of like the ability to have a single target damage instead of spreading damage like this thing is. So 3 reactor cores it is. We could sell Lita and Amelia Torquesio, but it doesn't actually benefit us because we have exactly the amount to get a reactor core for every power, and if we get rid of those, we don't have anything else we can sell to get an additional one. So we're gonna go 3 reactor cores and save the rest of them. What do I spend these on real quick? I think we're gonna put 1 back into the... actually, I would put all 3 of them into the ramming engines. Buff that up to 3. Is there a better use of our power here? I actually don't know if there is. We might go for the additional shield projector use, putting that up to 3, but I don't even know if that's worth it. Now, I do seem to recall that I'm missing some achievements for this team. I may want to double check what those are too. What are we missing? Hit 4 enemies with a single laser. Okay. We'll have to keep an eye out for that. The laser is basically done, though. What else do we want to upgrade? We could upgrade the rock launcher to 3 damage, but I don't think I need it. The point of this is to tap something from range without hitting other things in the way or to block spawns. It's kind of done. I don't know if I need to put any more points into it. The charging mech could do with some more damage, and Camilla could do with some more shields, but I think we're going to go all in on Abe right now. And buff this up to 3 damage. It means he can kill 4 damage enemies, and once we buff it up again, we'll have to buff it and his health, but that should make it more efficient here. Alright. I don't know if this is necessarily the best plan, but we're doing it. Let's leave this island and revel in our victory. We have beaten 3 islands with a perfect civilian score. Admittedly, thanks to a very lucky grid defense proc in that last island, but still, we are rocking it this game, despite being on hard mode, which definitely makes it a heck of a lot more difficult. Alright, well, we have 1 island left to go. Thank you very much for watching so far, and I will see you next time. Until then, bye-bye.